Tell me where to leave it at, so I know.
Let's go right
okay,
there.
I'll leave it right there every time I drink.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a Wednesday edition of Ask Mathis. I'm your host, Reginald Mathis, and rocking with me is my brother, Wildman Teddy T, a.k.a. Baron the Mound Builder.
We are in the building, everybody. It's a great day.
It's his favorite day of the week. What day is it, Teddy?
Hump day. We humping all around.
There you go, there you go. And, of course, man, we got Dr. Spock in the building, DJ Newkirk. What it do, sir?
What's up, my brother? I'm here. She's keeping it rolling, keeping it moving, keeping it moving.
Yes, indeed, man. And we got our very, very special guest in the building, man, none other than Mr. Abibi Lewis.
What's up?
Give it up for Mr.
Shout out to
Abibi
BB.
Lewis.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm here.
Yes, it is, man. Long time coming, man.
No,
Season
definitely.
6, bro. You know you're supposed to be in season 1, but you know BB don't do anything. You know he's so
This guy.
strategic.
Nah, man.
He's so strategic. He's like, you know, Matt, get your views up. You know what I'm saying? Before you bring me
I
in.
did
No.
research and
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah,
checking.
Get your stuff up, man. You know, it's love all over here, man. But you know, in between, you know, Khaled and Fat Joe and you know all the other folks, man, that he just you know rubbed elbows with, man. It's good that he can finally make it on over here to Hialeah.
No problem. man.
Appreciate you, man.
I love this place. I love the movement. I love the radio ideas and everything, man. Because you guys, you know, you keep local music going. You keep a lot of stuff going, man. So I want to kudos to you guys for you know what you guys are doing and definitely doing for the community. Even you know to bring me on the show, man. I really appreciate it. You know.
That's what it is, man. So for those of you, you know, out there, because of course, you know, we worldwide in this thing, man. Shout out to my man, you know, Rio in Tokyo, man, who's, you know, tuned in right now. What up, Rio? Son, Strong Arm East. But, you know, for the folks out here who may not know you, they certainly know Circle House. They certainly know Inner Circle. They know Lunch Money Lewis. But they may not know Abibi Lewis and who Abibi Lewis is and your contribution, you know, to the current state of entertainment.
Definitely, man. Y'all know my dad is Inner Circle. You know, he made the theme song for Cops, Bad Boys. That was also featured in the Will Smith and Martin Lawrence movie, Bad Boys. He made another hit called Girl, I'm Gonna Make You Sweat. We own and operate as a family Circle House Studios, one of the top recording studios here in Miami, who has brought out hits from Pitbull, Rick Ross, Flo Rida, and many, many, many more. And Abibi Lewis, man, I got my own marketing company here called Abibi Lewis Marketing and Branding Group. And what I do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? I started off doing engineering and producing, but I segued into marketing because it was a huge gap, and I saw the climate changing. So I kind of wanted to move with that climate of all this marketing. You know, marketing is the thing you got to love. You know, it's something that it got to be in you. You know, Reg?
Can I ask you, did this come out of Santos?
Well, it was kind of before Santos, and let me give a shout out to Michael Mad, man. Michael Mad that helped me create Miami Live. That guy was a genius, man. I mean, when it came to marketing, he taught me a lot on the email marketing tip. That was before Instagram and before Twitter and all that stuff. It was email marketing, and he used to put we used to do Santos on a Wednesday, you know. And on Wednesday, like, you never know who's gonna come on stage. It'd be like Lil Wayne perform 4 songs, like, and we don't pay these guys nothing. Then the next day, by Thursday morning, Michael Mad had a email and a blast going out to all the blogs. You know what I'm saying? And they would cover it, and then that's when I learned, like, you don't got to run to the radio all the time to promote your party. You don't got to run to these different places. But I want to give a big shout out to Michael Mad. But that was the start of a BB Lewis Marketing and Branding Group. Right there was Santos. You know.
And I can say there's probably not an artist out of South Florida who has not been touched by, you know, a BB Marketing Group, because you don't let them forget it.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
You got the photos and the videos and the pictures, and you're quick to remind them, even though sometimes they forget.
Yeah, you got to do that, because as they climb the ladder, like, and that's what I did behind the scenes. Because you know what I did behind the scenes? I seen rappers come, they get big, then they drop, and then the same marketing manager guy, he still be in the same position with the next star. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I don't want to have the pressure of like being an artist. You know what I'm saying? Or the pressure of producing. Yeah, it makes great money, but knowledge is power. And when you're able to do things knowledgeable and you know how to do things, that gives you power. You know what I'm saying? Almost bigger than power than a vocal on a song or a, you know what I'm saying, or different things, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. Shout out to your dad, man, the great Ian Lewis, man.
Definitely.
And your uncle Roger Lewis, man.
Yeah.
Just some great guys, and
Mhm.
you know, outside of the music, although the music is probably, you know, what facilitated so much stuff, somebody had to have a vision.
Yeah.
And if anyone has gone by, you know, Circle House, man, you can't help but be impressed. You can't help but be proud. You know, it was probably the first time that I laid eyes on, you know, black excellence as far as literally buying up the block, you know, taking a home, you know, in the community and, you know, doing this great studios and beautiful place, swimming pool, and, you know, maybe because it was probably the first recording studio that I ever went to.
Mhm.
So everything else just kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
We set the standard.
You know, like, oh, y'all don't have a chef? Like, y'all don't have people who running back,
No cookies, no
forth,
Kool-Aid.
you know, taking like fresh lemonade or,
Yeah.
you know, what's the juice of the day and all. Y'all don't have that? Wait, what's going on? And then seeing the plaques and, you know, my all-time favorite artist, Nas, man, and
Yeah.
then seeing that, you know, some of his classics recorded at Circle House, man, you know, that place is a jewel right here in North
South Florida,
Miami.
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched BB, like, you know, not everybody could come to Circle House. That's what gave Circle House that appeal. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got a lot of flack for that too.
But you had to do it. I watched it. I watched you do it, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know, this is the makings of something good. You know what I mean? Because I remember, like, I don't know, I've had a relationship with you. I was there when it was just the one
Yeah.
house,
Mm-hmm.
and then y'all connected
Everything else.
to other parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like from the first day I came there, I refused to leave. Like, I used to bring dates to Circle House because there was all the amenities. You had the chef, you had the pool,
Pool
you know
table,
what I'm saying?
pool
You
in the
had
back,
everything. You
tiki court
could bring a date literally
Yeah.
to Circle House,
Yeah.
and if Big D was in there
Yeah.
or Ray C was in there, I
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just to come up, me and Unc used to hang out to
Yeah.
death, man, and just learning. You know, when Cooler Dre used to have the spot by the pool in the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Like, and then it was like, nah, we bought it out, but we rented out to everybody. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's it's just business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way you flipped it, and then when you actually made it to where it was a video, like who wouldn't want to shoot their video back then?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what
We
I'm
shot a
saying?
video there.
Shout out to what's,
J Money,
Yeah.
Clarence Weatherspoon.
Clarence Weatherspoon, man.
Rick-
nice
Rick
guy.
Ross,
Rick Ross.
man.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We shot that video there. And
Man, I've been doing business with Reggie for a long time.
Again, every time, you know, BB does not let you forget. He does not let you forget. You go out there, man, you play your little video, you know, give a little shout out to, you know, yourself in the video or whatnot. BB come with his comment like, yeah, man, that's a nice picture of Circle House. Nice picture of Circle House in there.
You know, it's
He will not
always
let you forget.
it's
pro Circle House.
marketing is a roundabout thing. It's like a thing where you can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays with all these different platforms, you just got to go. You know,
I mean,
you just got to go.
You had like before Live and King of Diamonds, it
Yeah.
was Circle House.
Yeah.
And it was really, like I said, the branding that you did. You know what I mean? People would be calling you, who are you?
Yeah.
Let me check the schedule. Nah, we booked today. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like you kept a certain class in there where
Yeah.
Puffy was always upstairs. Puff's
Yeah.
favorite room was upstairs.
Yeah.
It's like everybody had their favorite rooms. And it
Yeah.
was like, even before, why Criteria was Criteria, nobody really wanted to go to Criteria.
Yeah.
Everybody came to Circle House at
Yeah.
that time, and it's just allowed y'all just to expand, like, you know, the makings of Pretty Ricky when what you
Yeah,
call it came
yeah,
there.
you was
with,
there. Craig Kalman.
Craig, and then what's the Static?
Yeah.
Static booked time for the whole week, and
Yeah.
just Shalik Rivers, all these different accounts I got
Yeah.
that week.
Yeah.
I used to get so much accounts from Circle House because
No, but that's why I always call it. I call it like I'm an economical guy, right? When you deal with economics, you deal with like sports, right? When the Heat is winning, we all making more money.
Making money.
You know what I'm saying? The Heat go to the playoffs, my phone ringing like crazy, all type of people in town. The same thing when the Dolphins win. When Flo got a hit record and I got access to Flo through Reggie and Freezy, it helps me. It increases me. So I want everybody around me to do well. Because when they do well, it helps me as a marketer. to be able to have that access with the artists. That's why a lot of artists kind of circle out. I want to make sure they leave with, you know what, a hit record.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
A couple things about that, man, before we transition. You know, things have definitely changed in the industry. And I'm just thinking back to, you know, how it was. You mentioned before Instagram, before, you know, all those things where it was more face-to-face. It was more, you know, an email. You know, you get an email, that was like, you know, big time. Like, you don't even really get cards anymore. You know, now you just get their you just get their Instagram or their Snapchat or their TikTok or whatever they do nowadays, man. That's beyond me. But one thing that has stayed consistent is your face. And you got a pretty clean face, you know, out here. So, like, where did you get that from? Is that, you know, is that something that lessons taught from your father and your uncle and just growing up a kid, you know, in the music industry? Or, like, where does that come from? Who taught you that? Is it something you learned on your own, or
Yeah,
you taught that?
I learned a lot from my father, you know. So, you know, growing up with my dad, which has a Rastafarian background, you know what I'm saying? So you learn a lot of loyalty things and you learn a lot of different things. Like my dad always tell me, I wish you went to school in Jamaica, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess the schooling could be a little more higher as you grow. But it's like, but between my dad, Ian Lewis, my uncle Roger, and then just making mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Making a lot of mistakes early in my career, not having the proper paperwork, having the right legal person around you, having not the right different things that I probably could have been probably even richer than I am now. But if I, you know, I had those right mentorship things, but I try to pick and choose my battles. You know what I'm saying? And I don't try to do too much or under deliver or over deliver for whoever I'm working with or whatever I'm doing. I just try to really stay focused. But to answer the question, is really like my dad, I would say, Ian Lewis, who
real great guy, man. If you get the opportunity to, you know, to sit with him, you know, just make sure you turn your car off and you just come and just get comfortable.
It's gonna be a long conversation, but
don't come in a 3-piece suit with a bow tie in your bag and think you're gonna be in and out, because it's not gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
But Jules, man, he drops jewels,
Yeah.
you know, each and every time. Definitely, you know, appreciate Mr. Lewis and those conversations and just everything going on there, because whether he knows it or not, you know, he serves as a father figure to a lot of folks,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of just, you know, being there and just, you know, observing. And we're always talking about, you know, he talks about African Americans, you know, specifically, and the need for African Americans to do better, and to not accept what's going on. And perhaps that's the Rastafarian background. And it's just sometimes when brothers hear it coming from him, you know, I just see him just shake his head sometimes. Like, man, y'all really don't understand, like, what pressure is, or what hardship is, or what poverty is, you know, because you guys aren't fighting for it. You aren't doing the best that you can. And he, you know, I always get from him to strive to do the best. And similar to your father, you know, if your father says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
if he does not commit to it,
Yeah.
don't expect it.
Yeah.
But if he says he's going to do something,
Yeah.
he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's
Same
gonna do
thing,
it.
you know, back in the day with BB, you know, call, whether it was the Fords back in the day, whether it was...
Look at this, Reggie. My dad's calling me and I answered the phone by accident. Daddy,
Yeah.
I'm on Reggie's show right now. You want to, Daddy, you want to say something? I'll call you right back, Daddy.
Whether it's whether it was Karoo and Y, whether it was, you know, just any of those places, man. You know, BB was a guy who could get you access.
Yeah, the plug. I was the plug. You know what I'm saying? So,
was you getting paid to be the plug?
of course, I was getting paid
Or
to
was
be the
you
plug.
telling
What you
me
mean?
why
Like,
it was the
hey,
plug?
listen, when an artist gets booked through me, I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? If you saw me in the club, I was getting paid that night. I wasn't just partying. You know what I'm saying? Because I turned the art of partying into getting paid. You know?
And how long you been doing that?
That was, man, I was doing that for like 10, 15
You
years
was
with
doing
the clubs.
that from high school, right?
Yeah,
'Cause I
from
know
like-
you was saying, like, you promoted a party with Flo when he was with the Groundhogs.
Well, because we did a pool party, me and John Gay, tax doctor. And, you know, John had a pool party at his house and we was chilling. And then I looked, because Cliff went to American, which is Flo's friend, you know? and then Cliff performed, and then Flo was with Cliff because Flo was part of the Groundhog. I didn't know really Flo that much. I knew more so Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff
you know,
was a spokesperson.
yeah, because Cliff
He was
went
one
to
that
school with us. He
Yeah.
was 1 year older than us, so Cliff was like the OG at American that would, you know, his parents was kind of like well off. He would be taking us to buy lunch all the time and doing different things, and you know, shout out to Cliff, man. You know,
That's what it is, man. And just interesting to see. And when you talked about decisions that you would have made different, one thing that I always knew whenever we booked time, you know, at Circle House, like it wasn't the most expensive place, but it was a consistent price.
mm-hmm.
You know, this is the price. Do you need an engineer? Do you don't need an engineer?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the price. And that's what it was. Like you didn't get there and somebody tried to hit you with a different price or, you know, say, oh,
Switch
you know,
your
I got Future coming today, so you know what?
Nah, I
it's
treated
five times as much.
I
No,
treated
it was
everybody the
always
same.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
like the same person you see on the way up, you're gonna see on the way down. I've seen artists walk through my door and there was nobody, and the next year they were the biggest artists in the world. You know what I'm saying? And by doing that and being cool with them, I gained access to them. And through access I gained through them, I gained more than just studio with them. I gained traveling with them. I gained working out liquor deals with them. I gained working out clothing and merchandising deals with them. You know what I'm saying? So without your relationship and access, you really don't got nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as advice to young entrepreneurs, like harness your relationships, grow your relationships, get relationships with people like Reggie Mathis, who's an attorney, Teddy T, who knows all about radio and been in the radio game for so many different years. You'll get some great knowledge. Harness your relationships, and Latin-based, hip-hop-based, European, you know what I'm saying? Connect the dots, man.
I like the fact that like I always wondered what you would grow up to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I mean the Circle House, it was like you worked for a family business, but you was
Yeah.
a teenager working for a family business. And I was like, man, this guy, he's got it made. Like
Yeah.
how is he gonna separate himself from Circle House? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
when I started watching, like you would always call me, hey, Ted, I got this event.
Yeah.
Shout it out for me. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I got you. You just come by. You know? that's the people say, Ted, hey, I got an event. You just come by. I got you.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like I always knew I had carte blanche at
Yeah.
Circle House. So that was like, and that was from his father because I had already worked a couple records and he was like, look, you could come by. So me and BB used to just start talking. We understood each other's understanding, but it was
Yeah.
like when you work with 2 Live Crew
Yeah.
and how you kept them going, I thought that was really your test of being able to do what you, because
Yeah.
to be able to work with 2 Live Crew in those circumstances and still get them a whole nother set of existence that Mr. Mix still has.
It's been
to
6
this
years.
day.
I've been 6 years with them. And we just, you know, shout out to Joseph Weinberg and the whole 2 Live Crew thing. Get It Girl. We just did a Beats by Dre commercial. Sweetie sampled the record. It's crazy. It's called Get It Girl. Megan Thee Stallion just did over Face Down, Ass
Yep,
Up.
yep, she did. I play that all the time.
Man, there's so many records, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's a business in itself. You know what I'm saying? Taking those old catalog records and knowing what to do with them. Shakira just did over my dad's song Sweat with Anuel. That shit is at like 400 million plays on just Spotify. You know what I'm saying? That's another business in itself, just taking older music. God rest her soul, Betty Wright. I'm hoping somebody, here comes Monica, here comes Brandy, here comes Mary J. Blige, go do those records over and just take those catalogs to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pitbull. He did over Lovers and Friends, another catalog record that we took and, you know what I'm saying, remixed it and, you know, twisted it up. Khaled did it with Do You Mind?
Yep.
He sampled it,
That's the
you
thing,
know?
like you was in there with those artists and you found revenue streams
Yeah.
in a recording studio that like people just go to record, but you're
Yeah.
like, nah, do this and we could do this and
Well, I tell you, like me and Reggie were speaking earlier upstairs in his office, like throw the old rules out, right? There's all new rules to this new game. This is a new game. This is a new era. The days of Specs Music and getting your CDs in the store and Selecto hits. You know how hard it was just to even release a single back in the days? To now, I can just go on DistroKid. I can go record that and I can put that up for sale within an hour. You know what I'm saying? It was so hard. It's so much competition. There's so many different artists out there. Everything's climate is changing. Now you got the cryptocurrency. Now you got the NFTs. Now you got so many other things going on that you got to keep up with. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a crazy game.
It's a
man.
different game, like you said, man. Nobody's coming up with demos no more.
Nobody.
Has anybody
Which is-
tried to go ahead and say,
which is interesting. So they're just talking about NBA YoungBoy and how YouTube has, taken down, all his music off of YouTube, and saying that, it was $35 million dollars that was generated from his YouTube, but he came out in the interviews basically saying, he didn't care because the label was getting
Yeah.
the vast majority of the bread,
They
and
own
saying
all
they
the
were just
digital
shooting
rights.
him a little bit. So he was
Mhm.
like, he don't care.
Let me tell you, when I say NBA YoungBoy and you say YouTube and taking his music down, I always believe marketing strategy, right? Because now the kid's gonna want it even more.
Because it's gone.
You know what I'm saying?
The
Because it's
demand.
gone. It's almost like when Two Live Crew banned in the USA
Mhm.
and those records. You want that more.
Mhm.
So all they're gonna do now is they're gonna force NBA YoungBoy to create another platform.
Mhm.
And as he create another platform, here comes every other rapper
Well-
that's gonna go on his platform or start new platforms,
Maybe-
and it's gonna take away from now YouTube. Sometimes YouTube, different people in the corporate world, they create a problem, but they don't understand it. They just create a solution for somebody else that created a bigger problem
It's
for
an
them now.
opportunity. They just created the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and Baby just dropped the Bayou project.
100%.
They just dropped it.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Uh-huh. So
It's
It-
always.
it's interesting, man, how that's how that works, and
mhm.
where do you see the industry going? Like, do you think it's going to be that crypto is going to take over? Do you think the NFTs are going to take over, or do you think it's something next that's coming?
It's definitely going in that direction because this whole meta universe world of realistic, not realistic is definitely coming.
yeah,
Because
the three-dimensional billboard is the big thing right now.
it's coming. So that's what I'm saying. Every day is changing, and you don't know what's going to happen next. The most you can do is keep yourself educated and relevant and ready to make those moves. That's what anybody working with me as a client, from Two Live Crew to Inner Circle to the newer people, like I try to keep them ready for, you never know what's coming next. You know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, you got to own your music. You got to own your IP, your intellectual properties. You got to own all your stuff. So when that time comes, you ready to move. Look at Jay-Z and Damon Dash with Reasonable Doubt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ownership is the key. And they say Dame is crazy. He's a guy I kind of listen to a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because what he preaches is right. He's kind of more like flamboyant and all that stuff, but still the things that Dame is saying
That
is
deal-
actually true.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
That
saying?
P&D deal that they did from the beginning, it
Yeah.
was set because they got their money back before Def Jam.
100%.
When Def Jam had to actually buy out,
Yeah.
they had to buy them out to even get anything back when they was getting ready to get dropped.
Yeah,
from
that's
the
why I said
thing.
in Miami with artists like Flo Rida and Pitbull, especially Flo, where Flo's gonna hit them numbers, man. Flo is gonna hit those numbers on Spotify, and he's gonna hit those numbers everywhere, man. Flo is like an exceptional artist. Miami has a lot to offer, you know what I'm saying? But as a whole in Miami, we should start working together a little bit more from the urban side. You know what I'm saying? The Latin side is killing the game. You know what I'm saying? I can name you 20 multimillionaires that live in Hialeah. You know what I'm saying? That are artists.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. They have huge outlets. They finish a video, they go into Univision. They go into Telemundo. We finish a video, we got to go to Video Jukebox. You know what I'm saying? We got to go.
There's nowhere to
There's
go,
nowhere
really.
where there's nowhere
Yeah.
to really
BT
go.
Jams.
BT
Video
Jams
mix.
or different things like that. They have more radio stations. They got the Rouse City play. All these different places they have. There's no reason why, as an urban unit, that we all can't come together and fix those things. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of heavy hitters in Miami, you know? But the question is, do they want to fix those things, you know?
Nope. No, you don't.
I mean, we did it in the beginning because we had to create it for ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's like once everybody got it, then everybody went their separate ways.
No, 100%.
So it's just like we got to bring it back again, and we have to be the ones to do it
Yeah.
because we were the ones that did it the first place.
No, 100%.
You know, when we did
100%.
Raise the Roof, and then we did Trina, like it was a collective. You know, everybody worked together. You had the studio. Ray C was doing all the mixing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It was-
even that Uncle Luke show, that broke Khaled. One of the things that broke Khaled.
Yeah.
That station, that was like motherfuckers would leave the studio and go straight to
To
the
the
radio
show.
station to get their record played.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or on the mix, or it was just a different time, and we definitely clicked and worked together more together back in those days. But you know, I know that like the game has changed, and not to say anything
Yeah,
about
you can do stuff from your basement.
Yeah.
now, you know? So you don't have to come up with the money to go to the
Go
studio.
in,
You know,
yeah.
you can work it from, you know, from my little daughter, man.
Yeah.
Is a producer. You know, like when I'm walking her to school,
yeah.
and I'm like, let me hear that latest composition you
Yeah.
got. She'll pull it out, man. She
Yeah.
produce it, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, give it a little time. I'ma bring you through.
Let it ripen a little bit.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, you know,
Make give some piano lessons. Like even my
Mhm.
dad always says, "Lunch money, man. I wish you'd have learned how to play an instrument." Like
But
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
another thing, like y'all developed lunch money at an early age. Like
Yes.
talk about that, the revenue and the development of lunch money.
Well, it was developed. We had him around like real rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like people from didn't just do bitty bop rap. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the Nas's and the different people. So he learned the Rosses. He learned how to be a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? He learned wordplay. You know what I'm saying? He learned experience and he learned a bunch of different things because music is not just who can rap the best. It's more than that. You know what I'm saying? He learned other revenue streams like songwriting. You know what I'm saying? Like he wrote a bunch of songs like Sweetie Tap In. He wrote a bunch of records. You know what I'm saying?
He wrote a bunch of records. Did he write for Jennifer Lopez too? Right.
I think I
He
could
wrote,
be.
He wrote for Jennifer Lopez at like 14 years old. Like
Yeah.
I was trying to be Lunch Money's best friend while he was a teenager because he was writing for all the artists. I remember
Yeah.
the first time him and Crypto they made the record,
Yeah.
and we did the whole setup in the backyard.
Yeah.
And then when we broke the record on with Big D
Yeah.
on the radio.
The What the Business.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Power 96, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's like I always, and then, you know, when the Lunch Money with him and Rama Wham,
Yeah.
his whole element. Then the next thing I saw him, he's performing with Flow Rider at Y100. And it's like I missed the gap, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I left him at Wham.
Bro, I
Yeah.
think we went to. I think we were on a show with Lunch Money in London, man.
Yeah.
It was just like, yo,
What did you
Yeah.
do? Like,
Exactly,
how'd you get
like-
here?
Well, you know, he never put himself in a compartment
At
like
all.
to say, hey, I'm urban, or hey, I'm pop, or hey, I'm this. You know what I'm saying? Being like Jamaican descent, like we didn't really put ourselves in those type of categories, and that's what made Lunch so different because he could be in 5 different genres with a hit record at the same time.
That was
and the same
incredible.
thing can Pitt can do,
Yeah,
Flo can do, and all
do.
that. It's like they can be in them different genres, and that's when that money start turning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So talk about the new show that you have, the video show that you do.
Okay, yeah, I got my new show Behind the Beats. Then I got my other new show called Behind the Culture, which is Behind the Culture is more where I dedicate my interview series to Caribbean entrepreneurs and Caribbean artists. Then Behind the Beats is urban entrepreneurs and urban artists like Trina. I've done Ball Greasy. I've done so many. I just did an Iceberg one, which was really, really good. And Iceberg taught them more so about cataloging. You know what I'm saying? Iceberg don't have one big massive hit out, but he has 100 records out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen to this, right? If I got 100 songs, right, and you play those 100 songs once a day, I got 100 plays. You know why? Because I own all those 100 songs. Now I got one song, right, that you like, and you play it 2 times a day. I'm only getting 2 plays. You may have liked the song a lot, and it may be a hit, but I'm only getting 2 plays. But if I got catalog is brewing, is cooking more to make a bigger result for you in the end. You know what I'm saying?
That's word to Flow Rider.
Yeah.
That's what I say. That's word to Flow Rider. That
Yeah,
catalog.
catalog is everything.
I've
Pitt,
used that for
Pitt's
example.
building his catalog
Pitt's
right
got
now
a
with Mr.
catalog.
305, with Chino, and all those different things. One thing with this music stuff is this game is, what is it? It's not for the swift. It's who can endure. You know? So if you can endure this music game and have, like, when I sit down with artists sometimes I say, what's your 5-year plan? Half the time they got a 2-month plan. What's your nowadays when you're doing marketing and you trying to create a new artist, you need about 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Business.
Do you
It's
want a
business
quick
plan.
buck and make a couple $100,000, or do you want to make money for the rest of your life off Spotify?
So what do you think about, you know, QC basically saying that for a record you got to spend 200 to 500,000? Do you think that's still? you
yeah,
know, you
yeah,
think
for
that's
for
still
the, for the singles,
For
you know what I'm
the
saying?
big-
For
to
the
be
singles,
national,
here you
definitely.
go. You got the video department. He gonna want anywhere from $225, that's $3,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? That's just the dude that's gonna service your videos. But
Right.
he gonna work it for 2-3 months. He's $10,000.
Yeah.
Then the radio guy.
It's the 6-month budget.
Here comes the radio. Here comes the radio guy. Here comes the street teams in the markets that you pick: Miami, Atlanta,
Charlotte,
New York, and
Birmingham,
each of those guys are going to be at least $2 to $3K a month, plus including flyers. giveaways, T-shirts, lunch for certain program directors, hats,
Travel,
travel,
hotels,
getting their hair
food.
done, getting in this, getting it's really
That's what it is.
it's really what it
And
is.
it's
But
the consistency.
But that's
the
if you're
Definitely.
headed for, the traditional billboard versus an independent artist who's just trying to make money and just
Yeah.
trying to get himself known. Because you can get yourself known for probably 20 to 30 grand.
yeah,
Mhm.
no,
And
that's
you can
true.
make some money.
That's true. But then it's like you better have a plan along with that. Like according to your budget, set your plan.
But just put it back in. That's the best thing.
Yeah,
You'll
that's what-
see after 6 months, you spent 80 grand, but you was able to make even 150.
That was
even
like
though
my
you
dad.
spent
Like
80.
everything he did, he put it back in. He never bought a Bentley. Never
Yeah,
bought.
that's
Not,
the
not saying
thing.
anybody buying things of pleasure is anything bad, but I always saw him. He took what he had and he put it back in. He took what he had and he put it back
And you
in.
can see- and he did it, and he just didn't throw it together, man. Like, everything is nice and
mhm.
quality.
Yeah.
Like even the studios that we have over at IMG,
Yeah.
Mr. Lewis, came over and
Yeah.
he and Chris Bentley,
Yeah.
he came over and put those,
That's it.
No,
the
definitely.
the
We even
studios
we
together,
taught Chris
bought the
Bentley.
speakers from England and saying, yo, this is why you gotta
Yeah.
get this stuff from England because
Mhm.
this is what you need if you're
Yeah.
gonna have the right stuff.
Yeah.
Like you remember, like let's go back to over of 826.
Yeah.
And then moving to the house.
Yeah.
Because I remember y'all first was over where what you call it?
Where
was
VP
at?
Records
Where
is like
VP
right
yeah.
there where Service Merchandise used to be back in the
Yeah.
days, right there on 441, the Sonny's Barbecue.
Right.
What I remember back then is like being a kid and going to get food for like Two Live Crew and
Right.
going to get food for Super Cat and all these different artists. Like going to the store making $50 and dropping stuff off. But they come from a long line of legacy where the crazy thing, my dad mixed a lot of Two Live Crew music and worked with them. And now 6 years I've been working with them now. So it's like a,
So what made them, build the studios and open it? Like who
What-
had that idea?
my dad's vision. My dad just had a wonderful vision and an idea that he just thought.
Like what was they recording before? Like he just saw
It was
that
a warehouse,
it was
but
lacking?
Jamaica, like if you go to Bob Marley house in Jamaica, where they record, it's a house. It's you know what I'm saying? It's that vibes. And Caribbean want that calm, you know what I'm saying, tranquil vibe when they record because you got to have some type of magic. It's some type of magic to this music. You can't just go in and be like, hey, I'm going to the studio at 6 o'clock, I'm going to make a hit. You know, it got to be something there. It got to be some unwinding, some different things with everything. Because music is not just a mechanical thing. It's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say with certain people, with people I'm hiring with internships and all that stuff, I said, if I can't vibe with you, I can't work with you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way I work. You know what I'm saying? It's everything is vibe. Everything is, it got to be a good vibe, you know?
Definitely.
And when did he build the studio? And was it by himself or
No,
did your
everybody.
uncle come in or
Yeah, of
did
course. Uncle
everybody
Raj,
just
Uncle
bought
Raj.
into it?
Uncle Raj came in. They all had they had it in their heads before it was even done. You know what I'm saying? They saw what was coming, and then certain things fell into play. Like I met Ray C as we started to do some work, and I was like, oh shit. Check this out. Ray C is doing this. Then Ray C was working with all these booty music guys, and that's because back then it wasn't hip hop. It was the
Ray C was at Luke's studio first.
It was the Splack Packs and the Shake It Like a Soul Shakers and the Whisper song we did at Circle House and there's so many different things. It was all about booty bass, and then as Trick came in the game and Verb, that booty bass transition turned into like rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then here comes the next wave of the Latin came, and I just seen so many different ways. And before me, it was KC and the Sunshine Band with Shake Your Booty and Betty Wright and the Michael Sterlings and the Inner Circles, and you know what I'm saying? It was just Miami has so many. The Bee Gees, people don't even know the Bee Gees was from like they was here recording all the time. You know what I'm saying? They still here. The main singer is still here because me and his son is
Andy Gibb.
and Mike Gibb, his son. Shout out to him. Me and him are very, very cool, and we stay in contact a whole lot. And working with people like that and seeing them manifest and seeing those songs still be able to go out there and be licensed for movies and still be relevant is insane.
Like when we're working with like Cool and Dre, Cool and Dre definitely sharpened their sword at Circle House.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
definitely.
And watching them from NMB, we was all on Flavor 919 together, and I remember they hired me to be their marketing person for their first deal with one of the labels out of New York. You know what I'm saying? And just everybody, like we all learned a lot from being at Circle House. Like Circle House gave us that element of being in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't really want to go to New York because we already had New York coming here. You know what I'm saying? You could always go to the Circle House. Bow Wow used to live over there.
That's why I called it the music mecca of Miami.
Yeah.
Because like it is. Because like when Ross was on Breakfast Club the other day, the last time he was on, you can see where he said he almost got where he got discovered, where he battle rapped Beanie Siegel, where I got so many different stories. Jackie on Foxy Brown fighting,
fight
and
was incredible.
like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
tell
I got,
us about that, man.
oh man,
You
that's
know,
gonna be in the book.
Circle,
that's
you
that's
know,
gonna be in the book. That's gonna
Statute
be
of
in the book.
limitations is up, man. They say the drink, you know,
Crazy.
spilled, messed
That's
up
gonna-
the board. How much did it cost to repair
Oh no,
the
it
board?
was no messed up the board. It was an issue, you know.
great,
But
wasn't
I can't talk about it. Got to be in the book, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give y'all some insights, you know.
But what really revolutionized Circle House to me was the Cash Money era.
Okay, definitely,
Because
definitely.
the Cash Money era, they lost so much money
Yeah.
over there, and they had to do so many features with different artists.
Here we go. Cash Money comes to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Cash Money meets me and my family Circle House.
Mm-hmm.
Cash Money gives DJ Khaled a record deal.
Mhm.
Cash Money signs Ace Hood.
Mm-hmm.
People don't.
They
people,
signed Briscoe.
Briscoe. People
Mhm.
forget where the connection came from.
Mhm.
I'm
I
not.
mean, they
I'm
met
not the guy
Zopound,
like
but-
it's me.
Right.
It's me.
I mean, the
But
alliance
yo,
was you,
but
what you
it
put
was
with
me.
Zopound. You put
Zopound
Zopound
with Cash Money.
and that was their alliance.
To this day, Red Eyes
everywhere.
and Birdman are still friends.
Everywhere.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what it was.
But people forget about who made
that was the alliance.
connection.
That was the alliance.
You know what I'm
right
saying? Who introduced Birdman to Zopound?
Mhm.
Who introduced Birdman and them to Khaled?
Mhm.
Who introduced all that different stuff was me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, I'm always trying to connect the dots for the city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when the city doing good,
We doing good. Everybody
exactly.
Doing good.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you know?
number one, what y'all did, Santos was like that revolutionary setup. Because
Definitely.
Trick performed like every other week. You had to tell
Yeah, Trick had
no,
carte blanche.
not
That's
this
the
week,
mayor.
Trick. And
you
then
know?
Wayne started performing. And the one day that I said, wow.
T.I. performed there
Yeah,
one night.
Yeah,
T.I.
T.I. and Pleasure. T.I.
Yeah.
and Pleasure performed together.
Yeah.
But John Legend performed at Hard Rock, and people had to pay $200 a ticket. And he performed the same night at Santos
For free.
with Michelle, one of them bad girls, one
Yeah.
of them other raw girls. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I was just sitting there like, wow.
That's why I said music is magic.
Yeah, man. Like
It's
that
magic.
Was
It
incredible.
just don't happen. That's why. Do you see any more parties like that anymore?
There's never
Exactly.
been nothing like that.
I felt like what's that? Remember Purple Rain? And you had the guy and Prince was performing. I felt like that club was like Purple
That was
Rain,
it,
like that.
man.
You know that movie?
Yeah.
every time you
Like,
went to Santos, I felt
You saw somebody.
But
yeah.
you felt like this is L.A. in Miami.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember Keisha Cole, Jeezy.
Yeah.
You know, when Jackie performed with
Humpty
Big
Hump
D.
performed there.
Digital
Underground.
yeah.
Coolio did
Coolio
Gangsta's
did Gangsta
Paradise there.
there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Lil Wayne must have performed for us about
Oh,
40
he
times for
performed
free.
so many times,
Man,
man.
this was before Instagram and everything. One
Mhm.
story I got, it was me and DJ Obscene. DJ Obscene's a huge DJ right now,
Mhm,
and he's
mhm.
another guy that started
He
at
started at
Santos
right?
with us. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And it's like nobody. The club was empty that night. It rained like crazy, right? Lil Wayne came. It's 30 people there. Lil Wayne performed for 2 hours.
Mhm.
And he was taking requests from the audience.
Yeah.
Like I wish
Like
I
he
had
was a-
Instagram.
Yeah.
I
Like
wish
he
I
was
had.
a cabaret singer.
Yeah,
man.
I'll be here all night.
Look, it was really incredible what you
Yeah.
got to see at Santos. It would only happen at Santos.
Yeah.
You get to that little corner. If you wasn't in that corner,
Yeah.
you didn't make a difference. You know, you could be in the
You
front.
know the corner. You know the
Yeah,
corner.
But the corner,
Yeah.
like you be like, baby, like, come on.
Shout
Jay."
out to Nito, man. Hey, man, one time was Nito's birthday, right? And Nito set his birthday up with me and everything. He wanted to be in the corner. Then I put, I said, Nito, you don't want to be in the corner. You want to be in the front of the
Right, 'cause
table.
it's your birthday.
Nito was about to kill me to be in that corner.
You had to be in
You
that
know what I'm
corner.
saying? I was like, Nito, no problem.
That corner's where it went down
Yeah.
at. You know
And look
what
at
I
this,
mean?
to this day, Nito's still doing work for me.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
a thing called the Inner Circle Fest the other day where Shaggy came. Inner Circle was there was their festival. Barris Hammond, not Barris Hammond, Marcia Griffiths, Freddie McGregor, Kamani Marley, Fat Joe, Flo came through and showed crazy love. It was an amazing thing. But Nito did the T-shirts for me, did the banner. So I look at that like to this day, I'm still spending money with my guy, and he was spending money with me back then, my birthday party. So after all these years, we still
That's the recycle.
we-
That's how it works.
that's what I'm trying to say. You
But that's
know?
what I'm saying. It's like everybody has so much negative to say about Miami, and
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, y'all can't say these things. All we gotta do is just do it again.
100%.
But we have to do it again.
Look
You
at
know
Pretty
what I'm
Ricky
saying?
on that tour, man.
That's
They
what
killed it.
I was just talking to Baby Blue this morning
People was
about
laughing,
that.
like, oh man, look what Pretty Ricky's done. No, they not. They
No, they
just
not.
begun.
Yeah.
It's almost like a rebirth.
Yeah,
But
the
now-
Jackson just performed
Yeah.
at the Hard Rock the other day, and I was like, the Jacksons without Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
They rock.
And they
Yeah.
still they do
Word.
internationally too.
Yeah.
They in Brazil.
Yeah.
They got the same booking agent as my father in Europe, so I see them working. You know what I'm saying?
I told Baby Blue, I said, the one thing that I love about y'all show is that y'all doing traditional Miami entertainment.
Yeah.
The stuff that I Want to Rock, the song came from because some kids was doing a routine at
Yeah.
a high school.
And
that,
then-
you know,
and
like,
then-
that's all they're doing.
Typical Pretty Ricky, they always gonna be in competition.
Mhm.
So like, you know what I'm saying? Like they always gonna take that stage.
Man.
Spectacular was flipping,
Yeah.
doing cowboys on girls, and
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this guy is
But
the
that's-
guy.
that's
but now
what he's done.
But now he understand the game,
Right.
Because he know when he does that and then he posts that,
Yes.
it's going to get more views.
Yeah.
It's going to sell more tickets. It may sell some merchandising and T-shirts.
Yeah.
So it's just how you weigh those things out,
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I'm saying, you know, and just it's just all marketing. That's all it is.
So what you got coming up next? What's the next BB marketing
The
move?
next thing I'm really working on is I can't really talk about it, but I got a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But definitely my dad's coming out with his new single called "Riches We Are Top of the year. We got a few movies and documentary things we getting into. I can't really talk about that right now, but my next step is short films and movies and documentaries. That's my next thing because, you know, with the music, we got to transition some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely want to understand more about NFTs and this cryptocurrency thing, but I'm still, I want to take my time and learn that stuff in my own way, you know?
So did Will Smith come by Circle House, you know, with the Bad Boys? I
Yeah,
saw
of
you guys with a
course.
lot of the images and the video when
Yeah.
they had just done Bad Boys 2,
Yeah.
Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah.
So, like, who else is that folks can't believe have, you know, graced the halls?
Man,
of-
Justin Bieber, Lindsay Lohan.
when he was down here racing, he was
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Roy Black saved him. You know what I'm saying? Out that little situation. But of course, man, everybody on this wall, man, from J. Cole to Kendrick Lamar to Ice Cube to The Game to Nipsey Hussle to
Biggie,
Gucci.
what about Biggie?
Nah, Biggie was
never made it down.
Biggie, Tupac
Biggie
never
didn't
made
make
it down.
He never made
But
it.
funny story, not funny story, but like a sad story that when Aaliyah passed, she was actually flying to Circle House
Come to share, that's right.
because Rockefeller was with us over there working on some stuff. So she was on the way because she had a record. I think Rock the Boat or something was blowing
Yeah,
up.
that's what she was doing the video for Rock
and then
the
she
Boat.
was gonna put Freeway or one of those new rappers on the song. You know what I'm saying? So you know, so I got to be around Rockefeller a lot too, and that was a great thing. I had to be around Diddy a lot. I learned a lot being around those different crews. Murder Inc. You know what I'm saying? Learned Strong Arm, IMG, Slip and Slide. You know what I'm saying? The Marley family. You know what I'm saying? And I always just been like, I wasn't with a crew, but I was cool with everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
networking,
saying?
Collaborating.
You know?
what I mean? And you always was a sponge. You
Yeah,
listen.
I tried to.
You always was a sponge. like you listen to me, like you listen to anybody. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that was the whole thing. Like anytime you can be able to talk to people and you tell me stuff back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'll be like, okay, I never thought about it like that. You know what I mean? Because that's how we all need different people that we could talk to at different
Definitely.
times. You know what I mean? About
That's why I said mentorship is
Yeah.
key. Like if
Yeah.
we can take some of these kids and show them more mentorship and show them how to okay, they got a song blowing up, they ain't making no money off streams, but let's sell some T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We sell 100 T-shirts at $25. Oh man, we made some revenue money now to put back into the streams, or revenue money to put back into the different things, and teach them. The more things we got going on in Miami, South Florida, period, is better for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't got beef with nobody out here. You know what I'm saying? I've seen E-Class coming finger licking. Across the street is Wendy's. Down the street is Checkers. KFC is right there, and everybody on 7th Avenue doing well.
on the finger licking.
So how, you know what I'm saying? It should be that should be the business. Within 3 blocks, you got 5 or 6 different fast food restaurants, and they're all doing
Everybody's
6
eating.
figures and better a year. You know what I'm
Everybody's
saying?
eating.
Because you know it's an influx of people. It's a lot of different things. So it's just
And everybody want that choice.
that's it.
It's
You
all
know,
about
I may
their
go to
choice.
Burger King and get their Whopper, and then go to McDonald's and get their fries.
It's really crazy when you drive by these only fast food. I mean, up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah.
it's always a line.
Yeah.
It never was like that
Yeah.
before the pandemic. Now, everybody. It's like you can't go nowhere. It's
Yeah.
always packed. It's hard for fat people. You know what I'm saying? It's hard on us. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do the smoothies now, dog. You gotta do them
But, you know,
smoothies,
I'm
man.
smoothied all day now. I
You
kill it
know?
with the smoothies, man. And sometimes that's what I do. I go to Wawa, give me the smoothies at night. Still,
Yeah.
you know. But
I never thought about that. That's a good idea.
They got the smoothies still at night over there at Wawa. So yeah, but like, you know, that's the thing. Like, that's how I got Hot Wheels. He's an artist. He been out here working for a long time. Met him
Definitely.
a long time ago at VP Booking, and you know, him in the chair, him in the situation. And one
Yeah.
day he told me, he said, I never had a family. I grew up in a group home.
Okay.
And that just really touched me, because I know I've been a mama's boy my whole life. And for a person to say they never had a family, you know.
Yeah.
So he's coming out with an album, and it's like he's worked himself up to getting the album by himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I said, man, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get posters. We're going to get flyers. I got a BB coming today, so we're going to go ahead and get BB to say he going to help you.
No,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
I'll do a free consultation. Sit down with you. You know, you and Teddy, and we can see what's the best way to attack a situation. You know what I'm saying? Because there's many different ways. There's many, like, people could do a group home tour. You know what I'm saying? I remember Plies and them was doing jail tours. You know what I'm saying? Where they was touring the jailhouses. So there is a realm for everybody. You just got to figure out what you're going to do and what you're going to
Give a
attack.
shout out right now to the folks that's locked down. You know, on Sundays, 11 a.m. Video Mix. You know, they were gonna re-air your broadcast, and so Video Mix is #1. You know, in all the Miami-Dade jails, man.
See, look
So
at that. Shout out
give
to
a
Jesse, Jesse Coleman.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
what Jesse was one of the first people that put like Lunch Money and myself on TV. We had our own show on the first initial Video Mix with DJ Khaled and Cool and Dre and all that stuff. So Jesse always been somewhat of a pioneer in the whole TV thing. Because before this, I remember Jesse was working at, what's that thing was called?
The box.
Jukebox, where you put you call the thing and you put your money in and you play your videos and stuff like that. I remember I seen Birdman at the studio, but he spent $1,000 just putting his videos in there over and over again. You know what I'm saying? But it was an outlet for an artist to get his stuff played. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Look at him now. You know?
Definitely,
Moving
definitely.
around
You know?
city.
Definitely, man. Let me get a little news in here before we
Go ahead,
give,
go ahead,
give
go ahead.
BB a quick little break, man. He been talking. So, you know, so our boy Chris Cuomo is in a little trouble.
Oh, man.
yeah.
I was just watching them yesterday on the show.
Yeah, he's suspended until further notice.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Como
definitely.
brothers.
Until
said-
further notice.
The
because,
Como brothers touching.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, again, we have a BB Lewis who's, you know, little brother, Lunch Money Lewis. So I figure he might have a little insight when it comes to this. So you got a brother who is the governor of New York, and he gets into a little trouble. You know, he works out. He says he's well endowed, and you know, he just goes a little too far, and so he's been accused by a lot of people, and he ended up having to resign. So they didn't just leave him alone. Now he's being investigated criminally.
Wow.
Now, at the same time, his younger brother, who looks up to him, works out, is on television prime time, often has the highest rated show on CNN, 9 o'clock prime time. What are you going to do when your brother,
Exactly.
the governor, you know,
You'll
is-
help your brother.
you gonna help your brother, right? Who doesn't understand? Like,
That's real.
Who
That's
doesn't
exactly.
understand?
And what else?
brother.
His family comes first.
Right? Who
Yeah.
doesn't, like, who doesn't understand that? Like, I think everybody in the black community is just like, it's a non-story.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
a non-story. Like,
That's real.
you know, he didn't go out and pay off anybody or
Yeah.
anything like that. He basically, you know, was like, hey, I'm not. He didn't cover his brother during his segment. During the time, they was like, why isn't he
That
talking
don't mean-
about?
that's his show.
But I'm
He's supposed to
saying
have the right
he didn't cover his brother because he could not be unbiased.
Right.
Yeah.
But what the
Oh.
reports are saying is that although he wasn't covering his brother on his show,
Mhm.
he was influencing the covers because the network was covering his brother. So he was going to sources and providing that information to his brother and supposedly putting pressure on some of the folks, you know, to help his brother out.
Mhm.
So again, I think it's a non-story.
Hey, he ain't kill nobody. He ain't shoot
Like
nobody.
I said, if you really close to a sibling,
You gonna help
it's a
him.
non-story.
Yes,
it's a
You're
a
right.
non-story. You should never even be in that situation because you know what you're gonna do, and if you don't do it, something wrong with you.
Yeah, morally.
And
Gotta do
they you know, they both successful. I give it to them as brothers. You know what I'm saying? They both got
Mhm.
to a certain point, and I feel like they're gonna work together and get it back again.
They got
You
to.
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they will.
You
They
know,
will.
they behind
will.
the scenes
Smart
right now.
guys.
Very
They got
smart
too much
dudes.
going on.
Very
Yeah.
smart
I want to
dudes.
watch their series.
Yeah.
You know, and their father was the governor.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
know that.
Yeah, Mario
yeah.
Cuomo.
I didn't
in
even
New
know
York.
that.
He was
I
the
know
governor
that
of New York.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mario.
I know Mario Cuomo. I
And
know
that's
that
what-
name.
That's
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
at the Comos. I said, well, damn.
Yeah,
they are my people.
And Pop
What
still
tripped
alive?
me
Pop
out-
still alive?
No, he
no,
passed away.
What tripped me
years
out
ago.
was when they started talking Cuomo and I'm not in New York anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the heck he governor
He
still?
came
He
back
ain't
from the
dead
dead.
yet?
Yeah.
No, the boys. So that's them, and then also you got Jussie Smollett. You know, he's in day 3
Yeah.
of his trial.
Clout chasers.
I think, yep. I think it's a wrap, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a wrap. We
He
was-
shouldn't
They'll
like.
lock him
And that's,
up?
that's the social
I
media
think
world
he's gonna
now.
get. I think he's gonna probably get like 7 to 10 days, or maybe like
Ah,
a
that's
30-day
nice.
30 days.
sentence, and
Yeah.
But it's just the
probably get out in
embarrassment.
the. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. He's gonna get out way soon because of overcrowding and
Yeah.
COVID or whatever. But I think a judge is gonna likely sentence him to some jail time. He's
Yeah.
facing up to 3 years. Like
Wow.
for that, it'll be nuts.
Right.
They
Right.
want the money back because they already sent him a bill for 100,000.
But he tried to pay the 100, right? Because if he paid the 100, wasn't
Not
that trying
at
to?
first.
Oh
and
yeah,
I
not
think
at first.
that's probably
yeah.
why they
They
went on
pursued it,
because see, he
yeah.
done already pulled the Obamas in it, and then you don't come
Really?
and pay that bread. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the issue. The former district attorney had to recuse herself because she used to be the chief of staff for Michelle Obama,
Mhm.
and supposedly Michelle gave her the call and
Help it
kind
out.
of
Yeah.
like look out. And
pay that.
Rahm
Pay that
Emanuel,
fee.
once it started coming out, Rahm Emanuel, who was the mayor at the time
Mhm.
of Chicago, hit him with that invoice. And if he had paid that invoice
It'd
back
been
then,
it.
it probably would have been it.
Mhm.
But because he didn't pay that bread,
Crazy.
Somebody should have paid it
You
for
know,
him.
But I thought
Somebody.
that was the whole thing. Like when they took the $100,000 invoice was something totally different. But when he had put up his bond, they kept the bond, didn't they, or whatever, his bail or whatever?
man, they don't have anything to do with
Now,
those costs. Yeah,
to
listen,
investigate.
listen,
The
everybody
cost to
got just like
investigate.
in a forfeiture or a seizure case.
Mhm.
I had a case on that I-10, I-10 East.
Mhm.
Going from Pensacola to Houston,
Mhm.
which was notorious. It got Wayne, it got Snoop, it got Willie Nelson, like notorious. This little stretch of highway in Louisiana. They get my guy 66 grand, right? He
Mhm.
had 66,000 in the back seat, vacuum sealed,
Wow.
right? So, and what they did is they make you sign a
Mhm.
release and then let you go. So they take you on some back alley in Louisiana and give you the choice.
option?
They give you the option.
Hmm.
Say, okay, just sign away. Let us keep this bread. You can go about your way.
Wow.
So who's not going to go about their way?
Yeah.
If not,
So he went on about his way, and then somebody said hit Mathis. So I'm in there. I'm fighting in Louisiana to get this bread back. And this is where I learned 60% of the money goes to the season agency. 20% of the money goes to the prosecuting agency. And then the other 20% goes to the courts, goes to the clerks. So they all had a vested interest in keeping the bread.
Knowledge
and
is
that
power.
was a nice little,
Sure.
lick that they had.
Yeah.
I mean, folks just coming through.
in a small town.
Yeah, and we went back, man. I just, they were playing hardball. And when they finally sent the footage, I'm like, this is some BS. Because they were saying that my guy was following too close and he was sandwiched in between two trucks. He had no way to go. So was he going to pull off the side of the road? Sandwiched in between these two trucks, and they cited him for driving too close. So when they pull him,
I never heard that.
they asking
never heard
him,
that
bruh, that's like the number one reason
Driving
the
too
number one
close.
reason in
I heard
South
driving too
Florida
close,
to
I know
pull
they pull 'em.
somebody is Tinted windows.
Tinted windows,
right.
right.
Tinted windows number one
New York,
here.
too.
Number one in Louisiana is driving too close.
Really?
Driving too close, like not maintaining a proper
Don't
distance.
stand.
Right?
Don't
Even though
stand
you
so
sandwiched
close
in,
to
so they
me.
pull you over, and I'm looking at it, and then the guy, I just remember the officer, and his dash cam, and he's singing like rap music, in there, and he's saying
That's
like, oh, I
crazy.
know, like I know I got one, like I know I got one. It's like they fishing.
Yeah.
Like I know I got one. You in a fancy car. And so the way they wrote the report was like the guy didn't know who he was or where he was going and all this other stuff. And he interviewed him and said, who is this? When I finally get, the video footage, it's none of that. The guy's like, said his name, said this is where we're going. They were going to Houston. And they were actually, the reason why he had the cash is they was going to Houston. And he was putting a documentary together. President Obama had just won the election, and a lot of folks was like making movies, and Buddy was making a documentary. And so he had this cash because he had Lil Flip, he had Scarface, and he had a bunch of other folks who basically was like, to be in your movie,
gotta pay.
Lil Flip wanted 20, Scarface wanted 10, and they had the company out in Houston that, was going to, process the stuff and whatnot. So we went in there and we clawed, to get that money back. But that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, man. I know we got to get up out of here, BB, man. Tell them how they can find you, get that consultation, get that networking in.
Well, definitely, man. You can follow me at Abibi Lewis on Instagram.
You got to spell that, bro.
At ABEBELEWIS. All my information is there. My link tree is there. My email is there. I'm very accessible. You know what I'm saying? Just come talk to me, but have the right things to talk about that make sense. You know what I'm saying? And let's see if we can vibe. And I want to say thank you to Reggie Mathis, who is a staple here in the law game, man. I show him nothing but respect because every time I call him, he's always there for me and my father. He's always there to pick up the phone and give us a little free consultation. You know what I'm saying? Over the phone a little bit. And
Always.
that's why I talk about having friends. You know what I'm saying? Doctor friends, nurse friends, lawyer friends, photography, social media friends. As you be able to utilize these people in your way up, everybody in your circle got to have a value nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, we could do this for the love and, it's for the team. It's for this. But now,
Your daughter's what, like a teenager now, right?
yeah, ninth grade. Everybody in your circle gotta have a value. And if you were to do that, you put 5 valuable people around you, watch your game change. Watch your time stop being wasted. You know what I'm saying? Teddy, I want to give a big shout out to you, man. Like Teddy for all these years. Teddy is like the king of radio, the king of independence, man. Teddy would take these artists and just help them so much. And my man, I'm just meeting you for the first time behind the scenes. Was it?
DJ
Newkirk.
Newkirk. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you. Been nothing but professional. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Right here, man. So shout out to my assistant Yanni, who's always there doing my social media,
She
doing
was here early.
my video clips and all
Got
that
it, we
stuff
got
like
her.
that. Like those clips you see in the morning with me is, she helps me, and she went to SAE, which is a music school out here in Miami.
Shout out to
so.
SAE. That's what it is. How we going out, bruh?
Man, like we should. We're going to go ahead and do it right.
Circle House. Oh, lunch money.
Drum Majors. And it's
Yeah,
the remix.
it's a remix.
Yeah, pick it up. Oh, right here.
I ain't even gon' front with your mom, man. You ain't even gotta be my shorty. It's a remix. We can get grown. Yeah, it's a remix. We can get grown. Okay. Love how you moving your body. Little mama, you the life of the party. We can get grown. Hey, look. We can get grown. It's a remix. What a sweet lick. You niggas hella broke.